We talk a little bit about superhero things because, of course, what dominates pop culture talk more than superhero things?
Right?
Netflix did Disney did put the Netflix Marvel shows onto their streaming service now, so they are
So much
once
hope
again
in that.
available.
Netflix put them back. No, just kidding.
No, I think it's this is great. This is great
Yeah.
news. It's suggesting that they're clearly open to mature content
Mhm.
on their service.
Right?
Some people worried like if they're gonna censor anything or like make it whatever. That apparently it's as it was. They featured him on the home screen stuff. I think so.
Yeah.
I heard some people say, "Hey, the best Disney Plus shows are now available."
Yeah, I forget, I mean, when I look back at, like, say, WandaVision and Loki, and Hawkeye and things, like, on the whole, they were pretty, PG-13, but there were
Yes.
some moments that kind of showed Disney taking baby steps, kind of getting into a little bit more mature content, a little bit of, you know, action and violence there that I mean, probably Falcon and Winter Soldier was, like, the darkest they went, but,
Yeah, when they had
again,
the
they took, like, baby steps. The
yeah.
World Organization, I
Mhm,
forget the name of it now. Um,
mhm.
but, yeah, I mean, there was some pretty dark stuff in there, but, yeah, I obviously not to the level of the Netflix shows.
Yeah, and it's a difference between, you know, suggesting and knowing what's off camera versus then
Yeah.
showing it, you know?
Well, and they did, again, like, baby steps. There were I mean, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, there was, like, a murder on camera that we
Yep.
watched, like, bombs exploding and hitting actual people. Um,
Mhm.
they didn't show, like, body parts flying around
Right.
now, but, they were kind of testing the waters, we'll say.
Yep. Yep. Well, I'm happy they're there. I hope more people get
Mhm.
exposed to them. I hope, you know, there's a lot of talk going around where Daredevil is gonna appear next exactly.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the Echo show makes perfect sense. It would seem disappointing if that wasn't the case, honestly.
Right.
The She-Hulk show makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
And then there's been some rumors about oh, well, okay, I'm gonna kind of skip around here in this.
Sure.
We'll lead into this. There's been some rumors about the next Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Um, and this rumor is Anya Taylor-Joy, the one of the it people right now,
Mhm.
seems, is has reportedly been cast as Black Cat
Mhm.
in the 2024 film Spider-Man 4, and Charlie Cox is expected to be in there as well.
I mean,
Uh,
I am good with both of these developments. I'm not gonna lie, Charlie Cox more so because I love him and I love his turn as Matt Murdock. And like, as far as I'm concerned, he can cameo in everything if he wants to. I mean,
yeah,
I really love the show and I really love his portrayal. So, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's for I'm pickier about the characters I care more about, and
Hmm.
it's someone like Kingpin that when we see him outside of where we've seen him far outside of the Daredevil series, though it's exciting, was not handled as well, in
It's
my opinion,
disappointing.
as right. So, as much as I want more, and it's like, let's not waste time. We could have been having Daredevil and things already before or whatever. At the same time, I want him to do it right and keep the integrity of the character and don't
Yeah.
just throw him everywhere.
Yeah. I get you. I mean, in all seriousness, I I want there to be a balance between doing it right and doing it
Mhm,
because yeah, I mean ultimately if the idea is that he can appear in things that people would be seeing for other reasons and they kind of get introduced to the character, thus introduced to the show, perhaps we get another season like yeah, I'm
Mhm.
all for that, let's use this to momentum build. I mean, I'm not, you can do that and I have no shame about that. Go get it. If that's the end result, then great, go
Mhm.
get it. But yes, I do ultimately care also that it's not just total throwaway crap. I
Yep.
mean, I'm willing to forgive a little bit, but, you know, don't do them wrong either.
Yep. Yep. It'd be one of those things like, "Oh, the fans wanted it," and then they don't do it
Just
well,
yeah.
and like, yeah, like, "Oh, I thought you wanted this." "Well, we want you to not mess it up." Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So, I think and as far as the other part of the story with Anya Taylor-Joy,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think that's a potentially fun casting, for Black Cat. I'm a little
Mm-hmm.
worried about what they will do with Black Cat, like, it's not really a type of, kind of vixen character that Marvel is particularly amped to put to screen these days.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're not gonna make Black Cat, again, just leave her out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's pretty cool. She's like a Catwoman, you know?
Well, and
So
I feel like your concerns are more to do with the character rather than potentially the casting.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
for
mean?
sure.
Like the casting news, I'm excited-ish because I think she's a great actress. Obviously, um, TBD on whether she fits the role because what is the role gonna be?
Mhm. Yep,
So yeah, potentially excited. Hope it's done well if this is
yep,
true.
yep. Um, did you we haven't really talked about the Spider-Man movie, right? The last one?
No, we haven't. Mm-mm.
Okay, did you see it?
No.
Okay, alright, okay. Well, then we
It's
won't talk
in
about it, right?
my plan. It
Yes,
is.
no,
I
it's fine.
swear.
It's yeah, okay. Um, it's perfectly fine. I just was gonna like comment because I was gonna say it seems like everybody's happy with what Sony's doing largely on
Mhm.
their end of the Marvel spectrum, but I was kind of let down by the latest Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember you saying that
yeah.
when
So
you first saw it. So, yeah, I mean, I felt in the moment I was really excited to go see it and then just kind of really didn't fit into my timetable and since then I've sort of like lost the
yeah.
drive
Hmm.
without like hey, we're going to talk about it on the podcast or,
Yeah.
some other big reveal is happening, go watch Spider-Man because you don't want to miss X.
Yep.
Yeah, just haven't gotten there.
Yep. A little more Marvel stuff yet.
Mhm.
Um, so let's see. Oh yeah. So this ties in. I kind of jumble this up a little bit, but Anya
That's right.
Taylor Joy just quickly was also rumored to maybe be Harley Quinn. Like there,
Yeah.
so I think they were. I think it was maybe Matt Reeves from doing the Batman was like, he's clearly thinking ahead what
Mhm.
he'd like to do, has in mind different stuff,
Right.
and with it seeming like Margot Robbie is kind of maybe done for now,
Mhm.
that if he were to bring in Harley Quinn, I don't know if this is anything more than the director in his head seeing the
Thinking out loud.
character. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I was reading that article and they were talking about ways that, if this is true and she's, potentially going to be Harley Quinn, where could she fit into what's going on with like Reeves's Batman? And I agree with the writer of the article where they were like, probably not going to be introduced in the cinematic universe unless Margot Robbie officially says
Hmm.
I'm
She's
not gonna
done.
be I'm not gonna be Harley Quinn. So we're like, okay, well, that really kind of leaves his TV universe. And that's looking less likely because, of course, we now know that the one of his two shows that was in development in HBO Max, the one that was gonna follow a Gotham police officer, that got the axe. So now there's just like the Penguin focused story. And the writer was like, seems more unlikely. It might happen maybe somewhere in like season 2 if it gets picked up. But have a hard time feeling like Harley Quinn would be linked with like a Penguin origin story. I was like, yeah, that kind
Sure.
of makes sense. They're not traditionally two characters that really you
No.
see go together. Um, so yeah, so I don't know if, like you said, this is maybe Matt Reeves just like thinking out loud, if this was like a potential, like, we're generating some movement based on this one show. Now it got canceled. Now we're, kind of left dangling in the wind and we don't know what we're going to do. But
Well, and what better way as a, high profile director on a big movie to just toss out a name that you like
big
to like
name.
let the person and the agent of that person know,
Yeah, come to
hey,
you, man.
yep, let's
Just
so
thinking about you.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think she's got a great look for Harley Quinn, but I'm just sort of not as enthused about that potential casting. I'd rather, I think,
Okay.
see her as Black Cat.
Okay. I
And
just think, I mean, I'm fine with, when Hollywood finds people they like, it's fine. But, let's not put
she doesn't need to
Anya
be in everything.
Taylor-Joy and Zendaya in everything,
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
cool
We
it.
don't need to be in everything.
Yeah. So, um, lots of shows coming to Disney Plus in the Marvel universe,
Hmm.
and the latest one, well, we got a trailer for, I should say,
Hmm.
because Moon Knight's next,
Yes.
is Ms. Marvel.
Hmm.
We've got a trailer drop for that one. Um, did you get to watch it?
I did. Yes.
Do you have any familiarity with this character?
Um, like general story arcs, yes. I can't say that I have fully read a comic. I've read a couple pages of different stories, but it's not my like number one. I know everything about Miss Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, the Marvels and Miss Marvel and all that stuff has really been like in the comic book space, like worked and reworked a lot.
Mhm.
It's coming kind of a weird, tumultuous timeline for the name, anyways.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say I know this one is a reboot based in 2013, I think, this
that
particular
sounds
version
about
of the
right.
character.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yep.
I was, after the trailer going back to kind of dig into what I did and didn't know generally. So that's what
Yep.
I remember from this.
I'd like to know how well this character has done. The character's been kind of a media darling, but I want to know like if people are interested or not. And I was after watching this trailer because we kind of had suspected it earlier when we saw a little snippet in like what Disney Plus Day or whatever it was. I was
Mhm.
like, this doesn't look like her powers. And
Right.
indeed, they changed her powers
They did.
completely.
They did.
And it's another one of those things. I have never read a Ms. Marvel comic, not this version anyways, so I don't have a stake in the game or a
Mhm.
horse in the race or whatever, um but if I was a fan of this, I would be pretty upset. Like, I
Mhm.
won't be upset for you, you can be upset for yourself or whatever,
Right.
but I would be bothered by this, that she now has some sort of cosmic altering harnessing abilities, versus like being basically before Mr. Fantastic,
Right.
stretchy, big
Right.
fist stretch and punch. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess, anybody out there feel free to like add us if there is like some sort of storyline that we don't know about, that, there is something in the comics, even one that they're like really taking and stretching and running with, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of disappointing that, even though this is like a show based on like a revamp of a character, you wouldn't have that like throwback and call out to these original powers.
mhm. Well, it looks like they're gonna use her. I don't know. It just screams to me that they don't have confidence in the character. They're like, this
Mhm.
character is not cool enough or
Morphogenetics. That's
powerful
an
enough or
interesting word.
something. Yeah. So
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't say it's one I'm excited for. We'll see what the reviews say when it comes out, and I'll kind of be basing my judgment on whether I'm
Yeah.
up for it or not. This one.